Kastles Stadium inside the Smith Center in Washington, D.C. getting pumped up for top flight tennis action. It's 2018 World Team Tennis presented by Geico. First place Philadelphia matched up with second place Washington here in D.C. Jason Knapp alongside Elise Bergen. And Elise, these two teams have proven themselves to be the best so far as the standings go in World Team Tennis. And this a rematch of a matchup less than 24 hours in Chicago when Philadelphia took care of the Kastles again.
They did, and the Freedoms have played incredibly well. 6 matches in a row. The Kastles are chasing, but this match tonight here in Washington, where Murphy Jensen can control the lineup, the order of play is huge for the Kastles, and we'll see the difference when the home team gets to set the lineup. You
look at the Wilson lineups tonight. Both of these teams have seen some big stars play. Venus Williams earlier this week among the stars playing for the Kastles this season. We saw Sloane Stevens last night for the Freedoms, and now it's Naomi Osaka making a World Team Tennis debut tonight.
Yes, and it's going to be very exciting to see Osaka, who's one of the great talents in the women's game. She's got that it factor. And Osaka, it'll be wonderful to see how she's embraced by this Washington crowd, and it'll be very interesting to see how she adjusts to something that is so different, so quick, that is World Team Tennis. So
you talked about the home coach getting to set the order of play. Murphy Jensen flipping it up a little bit. Craig Carden, the head coach of Philadelphia, has used Kevin King as his closer, so to speak. He's played last so much and done very well, part of that big Philadelphia winning streak. Right now it'll be King leading off as Murphy Jensen tries to get him out of his comfort zone tonight.
Absolutely, and to get Tennis Sandgren for the Kastles out there first, out there fresh. He's had some elbow problems, and just to be not that far off from his warm-up to just get out there, play the single set as opposed to sitting and waiting. I think a good idea for Sandgren.
Then it's Osaka again making her debut against maybe one of the most valuable players in World Team Tennis so far this year, Taylor Townsend. 8 sets of women's singles she's played. She's won all 8.
Yeah, Townsend has been incredible. She's played very well on the women's tour leading up to World Team Tennis. She'd won a couple of challengers, and now World Team Tennis. She's played many seasons. She loves the short sets, the quick pace. She loves the team atmosphere, and she is so physically gifted. You're going to have the big hitter in Osaka against the touch player, the lefty in Townsend. So that should be a wonderful matchup, as will be the doubles and mixed. You got some great doubles players also for both teams, mixed players. So this should be a tight one tonight.
Yeah, some Grand Slam doubles champions there in the mix. Craig Carden, again, has kind of pushed all the right buttons for his team, and they have produced 9 wins in 10 tries, looking to maybe lock up the top seed for the playoffs coming up. And Murphy Jensen for Washington understands what it takes to win it all. They did it 6 times in a 7-year stretch, including an unprecedented 5 in a row from 2011 through 2015. We'll step aside for the moment with the tennis about to begin. Men's singles first. Tennis Sandgren, Kevin King. They lead off. Coming up, World Team Tennis presented by Geico here from Washington, D.C.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more, but by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots
and close shaves.
Of wins for the history books.
And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game. And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness
is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
In 1974, we founded a tennis league that was built on innovation, team spirit, and excitement. Now, 4 decades later, we're changing the game again and bringing World Team Tennis into the digital video age. This season, For the first time ever, you can stream every match from World Team Tennis on our new channel, WTT.tv, in high definition and completely free of charge. Check it out at WTT.tv.
The human body is an amazing structure of joints, muscles, and bones, working in perfect harmony. I chose Penn because their musculoskeletal center works the same way. They did not just see my arthritic hips, they saw me from a unique whole-body perspective, then worked as a cohesive team to get me back not just to dancing in competitions, but winning them. And my life, a life on the dance floor, is worth Penn Medicine.
Nearly all profits from Bloomberg LP go to Bloomberg Philanthropies, which is dedicated to saving and improving lives around the world. So when you work for or with Bloomberg, you're doing a whole lot of good. Learn more about our good work at Bloomberg.org.
Come on, guys, pop it back up.
We know our customers have busy lives. That's why we're working hard to improve our customer service. Now with the My Account app, you never have to guess when I'll be there. So instead of cutting your day short, you can stay out just a little bit longer. I'm Jaquetta from Comcast. We should fit into your life, not the other way around.
Does your family need a break from the daily routine?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. If you or someone you know needs a healthy dose of nature, visit discovertheforest.org and trade in the big screen for the big blue sky by visiting a local park or forest near you.
Hiking, picnicking, swimming, orienteering, climbing, admiring wildlife, or inhaling fresh air may result in heightened creativity, feelings of joy, harmony, satisfaction, and a euphoria that can only be explained as oneness with the natural world. Whoa.
WTT.tv is brought to you by Wilson. Get the best gear in the game. By DecoTurf, official tennis court surface of World Team Tennis and the official surface of the U.S. Open since 1978. By Forevermark. Less than 1% of the world's diamonds are worthy of the Forevermark inscription. Forevermark, a diamond is forever. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Always a sensational environment for World Team Tennis here inside Kastles Stadium. That should hold true to form here with this late afternoon start for Washington and Philadelphia as they meet for the second time in 24 hours here in D.C. They're getting ready to go here with men's singles to lead off. Kevin King, Tennis Sandgren. Again, Elise, a little refresher for some of the folks here that may be kind of jumping into World Team Tennis, whether you've been with us from the start of this 3-week sprint season or not. Format can be a little bit challenging for those newcomers. Others have been along for the ride and understand 2 men, 2 women, and a coach, 5 sets each. One of men's, women's singles, men's, women's doubles mixed. Those tiebreakers then, again, you talked on it, that home coach kind of setting the table, setting the tone for how they want this to play out.
Absolutely. And in World Team Tennis, the beauty of it is in one match over the course of a couple hours, you see every discipline of our sport. You see men's and women's singles and doubles and mixed. It's so wonderful to watch how the teams work together, and the coaches are always thinking along the lines of who's going to give me my best opportunity early on and then to close out. And in this match, Murphy Jensen is thinking, my mixed doubles team, where I've got 2 Grand Slam champions, I think they're the ones at the end of this match, if it's tight, that are going to get us through. And you look at that, it's no ad scoring. So there's so much pressure. You've got the pressure points at 3-all each game, and in a tie, the 9-point tiebreak. At 4-all, you have the pressure points. The scoring is cumulative, meaning every single game counts. You can substitute. If someone's not playing well, you can substitute that player in. I don't know if I love it with the let's, but I think I would be very challenged all of a sudden to have to play World Team Tennis, and all of a sudden you have to play let's, but players know that. And then it's great that you have the on-court coaching, so you can see how players react to their coach.
Of course, Hawkeye Live has been part of the big story here throughout this. Our chair umpire, Rich Yarlott, is out there by his lonesome. No lines persons required, 12 cameras utilized to make all of the on-court line calls. There are also 6 football cameras out there with a review official doing that. It was a little awkward the first couple of nights, but since then the players have gotten used to it, and at least this seems like it's the wave of the future as you look at Rich Yarlott upstairs in his chair.
Absolutely, and one of the things about World Team Tennis through its 40-some years, it's been the most innovative part of our sport. World Team Tennis has always innovated first, and you've got the multicolored courts. You had the coaching, you had the timeouts, you now have a shot clock, and now the electronic line calling is huge. This is the wave of the future. The game is going there, but World Team Tennis got there first.
Tennis Sandgren jumping into World Team Tennis this season, just turned 27 years of age. About a week ago, last Sunday, his second season of World Team Tennis. He also played back in 2015. Elise, strong start to 2018. Made his first quarterfinal at a major down under in Australia. Beat Stan Wawrinka, Dominic Thiem along the way. Also made his first ATP final in Houston. Lost to Steve Johnson on the clay in the U.S. Clay Court Championship. And Kevin King, maybe been one of the most unheralded players coming in that's opened a lot of eyes. His current ranking is 170 in the world. He's played way better than that the last week and a half.
Absolutely. He's a lefty, and in World Team Tennis, a lefty in a one-set match at 4-all, you're playing that tiebreak. It is tough to get used to that game of Kevin King. So he has used that to his advantage. And for Tennis Sandgren, it's going to be interesting to watch him because the elbow has been bad, and he's struggled in some of these matches with confidence. But hopefully, he's played more matches. The last couple of nights, he's played sets, and think he's getting much more used to this quick pace of World Team Tennis. But there's no doubt this year, what an incredible early part of this season for Tennis Sandgren.
And for both players, it'll be interesting. Normally, you come out, your pre-match routine, you get ready, and you're used to playing. And these guys, especially Kevin King, has been playing last. Now you come out, and it's like a normal match. And you're playing from the get-go.
Absolutely, and you've got to be ready from the get-go. And we'll see with tennis, is he ready right to get this thing going immediately? Serving first. And you know these two know each other incredibly well. Tennis Sandgren playing his college tennis at Tennessee. You've got King, who played at Georgia Tech. They're close in age. They're both Southerners. One grew up in Atlanta, the other in Tennessee. They've known each other their entire lives. They know each other's games inside and out.
King pushing that long. Last night in Chicago, 5-3 win for King. And again, that was to close the match. So King had a multi-game lead, knowing if he holds serves, got a pretty good chance to take it out. Even if Sandgren were to win the set and send it to extended play, if he wins a game on serve, it's over at that point. And he handled things as Sandgren gets off to a good start. Here's a look at Hawkeye Live on the close calls. And the computer batting 100% so far this year. And Sandgren doing the same in his opening service game. 4 points, and he gets the early hole.
And that was huge, just to get off the mat, in essence, starting off, serving big, sending a signal across the court like, I'm feeling better, I'm feeling good today. I'm at home. I played a couple matches here in DC. I know this court. The court is it's a small court. Things happen very quickly, and you have to be ready from the get-go.
Kevin King, rare player. He's played every single game of men's singles for the Freedoms this year. You look at the Kastles, they've utilized Francis Tiafoe. Matt Ebden has played singles for Washington. And the ace for King.
Yep, big serve up the tee. And I think Sandgren was injured early, so Matt Ebden kind of subbed in for Sandgren while his elbow got better. And, of course, you had Tiafoe, the hometown kid, playing some matches here, and the crowds were just wonderful for Tiafoe, for Venus Williams coming here to DC. But seeing a hometown kid playing was just tremendous for Francis and for DC.
Now he seems really to relish that, as you would expect. So much like Sandgren opening game, King with a chance to hold it low.
And you look at Sandgren's game, and last year he started winning some challengers in 2017, kind of got his feet wet on the ATP Tour, but it was early this year that it all just gelled, and he just worked so hard. He made himself a beast out there on the court at the Australian. He toughed out those 3 out of 5 set matches and getting himself to the quarters. It was pretty amazing to see.
Second ace of that opening game for Kevin King. Finishes things off 1-1 here in this opening of 5 sets in this matchup between the Freedoms and the Kastles. Be curious to see if Kevin King can ride this wave of good play from World Team Tennis to success in the latter stages of summer in 2018.
There's the let.
Sandgren going down the line. Again, got to get used to it. These players have done that, and King on his horse to get there.
So that was terrific movement from Sandgren, getting up to that short ball. Great racket head action off the backhand. And that's good from Sandgren. He needs to be aggressive when that ball presents itself short in the court. He's got to go after his shots.
At least you mentioned a player that kind of breaks through for the first time at a slam, has success, gets to an ATP final. You mentioned injury for him, but also you're playing better, but also you're more noticeable. I would assume when your name gets elevated, then the coaches, they take you a little more seriously. The scouting is going to be more in depth. Currently 54th in the world.
Well, with success come expectations.
Two rock-solid service games for Tennis Sandgren to begin. Both at love.
But when you find success, you're also playing more matches. And last year he started playing more matches. He won a bunch of challengers. It's interesting. Both these guys, Sandgren and Kevin King, have had hip problems in their careers. They both have had hip surgeries. And young guys have pretty much lost at least a year or more of their careers because of it. And both have come back. And the amazing thing is, we talk about King, he's 170 in the world. That you're kind of getting on the cusp. There's not that huge a difference between 170 in terms of the playing level and 100 in the world. You can make a breakthrough from that spot. You're playing a lot of challengers. If you get going and you win a couple of those challenger events, all of a sudden that ranking gets better and better. Then you get some qualifying of main tour events. That's what Sandgren did. He did it through the Challenger Tour.
King opening up with that lefty forehand, stretching out Sandgren to get the point.
That said lefty, it had lefty written all over it, got around it. And here he's serving now in that ad court where historically that's the court that's so difficult to return against a lefty. Here he goes up the tee, but the serve out wide is the traditional big serve for the lefty, the bread and butter.
King point away from keeping us on pace at 2-all. He does have challenger singles title, his first last year, Cary, North Carolina. He's mentioned trying to continue that climb to the top 100.
Oh my, that was sensational from both. You saw the athleticism of King. Check out that backhand volley, so athletic. But Sandgren here, watch him just brush up on this little backhand, sweet touch, cross-court angle. So good.
King perseveres and prevails in the game. 2-all here underway. Men's singles starting this duel between the Kastles and the Freedoms in D.C.
Once again this season, George Washington University Hospital has given the first.
Still nervous about finding a new apartment?
Yeah, but popping these things really helps me relax. Please don't. I'm saving those for later.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about renter's insurance. Just go to Geico.com.
Geico helps with renter's insurance. It's good to know.
Been doing it for years.
It's really good to know. I'll check them out.
Get to know Geico and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.
A tennis league built on innovation, passion, and respect moves into the digital video age. For the first time, fans around the globe can stream every match from the World Team Tennis season on our new channel, WTT.tv, completely free. Watch major champions, incredible point, and rising stars come together to compete for the coveted King Trophy.
So many great points in this one.
This summer, watch the entire season at WTT.tv, presented by Geico.
4 straight service holds here at Kastles Stadium. Fans getting pumped up as usual, standing tall, and the fans here are loud and proud. Kevin King, Tennis Sandgren going toe-to-toe. Leander Paes, sensational player for a lot of those Castle titles teams, here as captain today.
Yeah, that's awesome to see Leander Paes, one of the great doubles and mixed doubles players that the sport has seen, and he became legendary here in DC for the tennis that he played for the Kastles. And I love how Mark Ine, the owner Mark Ine of the Kastles, he keeps his former players involved, brings them here. He's now one of the owners of the league. And just this franchise has just been a benchmark for how to do it in World Team Tennis. They get incredible crowds. They have wonderful hometown support.
And that run of 5 straight titles ended in 2015. San Diego winning 2 years ago, Orange County last year. Philly in the driver's seat this year. Again, win today for the Freedoms. They'd lock up a playoff spot.
And here you've got the Freedoms, one of the historic great teams from the beginning, from the 70s of World Team Tennis.
But it's been a while. 2006, the last time they won the title.
Absolutely, and this season, this is just, it's gelling for them, and it's so deserved.
Well, Tennis Sandgren likes batting in the leadoff spot, it seems. He has come out with a flourish.
Well, he wants to show these fans here, I'm really good. It's taken me a couple matches to get into this World Team Tennis flow, but you can see it right from the get-go. He was ready.
Sandgren been perfect on his serve so far, looking to keep that trend going. Yep. How about that? Freight training King in 3 straight service games, and now the Philly lefty with a chance to match. Last night when they met, Elise, King won 5-3. There were 2 break points in the game. King converted on his. Sandgren didn't get his. That's the difference in the match.
And the advantage King has is when he's down a break point, he's got the serve in the ad court. He's a lefty. He gets to serve that break point when he's down in the ad court. Unless it's 3-all, where the returner gets to choose the side. And you just watch that point, and Sandgren returned way behind the baseline. He stayed behind, and as that point progressed, King moved in a little closer and kind of was the player that was taking advantage. And that's just such a tough serve on this court where it's very close quarters, especially the one out wide. It's difficult to cut off.
Greg Carden has talked so much this season about how well King uses that lefty ability. And another one right there. So he has him leaning, going out wide, then crunches one down the tee.
Right, and when you're a really good server, you mix it up. You're like a pitcher in baseball. You don't just have the fastball. You got the kicker. You got the slider. You got the serve into the body. Oh, that's wonderful defense from Sandgren. Then you can see Tennis Sandgren just talking to himself, trying to keep himself up, keep himself engaged, even down 1-3. Because you never know, and there you see the fist pump. Things happen so quickly in World Team Tennis. So now from 3-love up, King's got to do a little thinking. Now it's 3-2. And you would think on a point like this that King's going to use that wide serve in the ad court. And Sandgren will be looking for it. Went for the wide one, missed it.
Second serve went inside, and King able to take the point. Still on serve, 3-all here, opening set.
And he kicked the second serve up the middle, but look where King is. He's the aggressor. He's standing inside the court.
So now Tennis Sandgren, who has put together perfection so far in his service game. He's won all 12 points so far. And continuing to roll along.
It's a lot of pressure. World Team Tennis, it's fun. Players love it, but you're also dealing with pressure. You don't want to let your team down. You don't want to let your home crowd down.
You know, we saw a little bit last night, if you were watching the action between these two in Chicago. Sloane Stephens, Madison Brangle in women's singles. We'll talk more about it later. They went to a tiebreak. Sloane, reigning U.S. Open champ, was up 4-love in a 9-point tiebreak. Lost the last 5. And Craig Carden said afterwards he thought she might have been more nervous playing World Team Tennis than she would be in a slam.
Absolutely, no doubt.
And that's all about performing not only for yourself, but for everybody on your team.
Exactly. And you have on the regular tour, in doubles, you have those 3-all points and those, but not in singles. You're always playing deuce-ad. World Team Tennis, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. If you're 3-all in points, you're playing that one big pressure point all the time. And for Sloane, who was playing Madison Brangle, Brangle's been playing on this Kastles team the whole season, and she's used to playing these big points. And then for Sloane, who hadn't been playing, played a couple matches, but is not used to that, it's not that surprising. One thing about Madison Brangle, she's not afraid to win.
Certainly not. She showed that ability last night. Tennis Sandgren looking terrific so far. Again, still has not lost a point on his serve. Can he find a way to solve the serve of Kevin King, get a break and end it here? Or are we ticketed for a tiebreak here in this set of men's singles? Strong start for Sandgren.
And one of the best points I've seen Sandgren play off of a return point since he's been playing World Team Tennis. He kept some wonderful depth. Look at the depth he gets with his shots through this point. And then, because of the depth, he then set his backhand up for the winner up the line. And nothing you're going to do about that when you've got to protect the wide one. If your opponent, your left-handed opponent, can hit the big flat serve up the tee, you just say too good.
King has not stockpiled a ton of aces this season, but so far he's got 4 already through his first 4 service games.
That's just a perfect 1-2 punch. You get that first serve in, and then you take care of the second ball. And that's the beauty of the serve of King, and we've seen it this game. 2 points ago in the ad court, he went up the tee. There he went out wide. He's just mixing that serve up beautifully, and at the ball head eyes. It's a great combination.
Sandgren fighting to stay in it. King still 1 point away from getting us to a tiebreak.
Now that was just wonderful aggression off a second serve. He didn't hesitate in being aggressive. He was rewarded for the bravery going after that second serve. Let's see what King does with the first here. He's got it. And that's terrific.
Now the fans getting amped up. We have our first 3-all point of the match.
And that was a good first serve. And look at the effort from Sandgren, and it's here that King couldn't do enough with that volley, and Sandgren on it.
Well, Philadelphia has excelled in this situation all season long. 60% success rate in 3-all points. It's a league best. Washington, 46% 3-all points.
And he takes it in the deuce court, taking away that big serve out wide in the ad court. Gets a look at a second.
King needs it for the tiebreak. Sandgren trying to win the set.
Wow.
And a double fault from King to lose the set. Tennis Sandgren returns the favor. Fell last night to Kevin King 5-3. This time it's the Kastles righty that gets it done, and that is a stunner. As well as King served here in the set, it's Sandgren that gets the victory.
Yeah, and he needed that. He needed to do that for himself, for his team, for that home crowd, and that was huge for Tennis Sandgren. And he played some beautiful tennis, his best returning game that he's played in World Team Tennis, and he was rewarded for his aggression, for his effort, and a little bit of nerves for King hitting that second serve at 3-all.
So King in the leadoff spot, not his normal closer role, watches Sandgren steal the win. 5-3, Kastles ahead of the Freedoms. More action to come. This is World Team Tennis presented by Geico from Washington, D.C.
Still a chance here. It's Willingham, into the box. Willingham shoots. Goal! That was magic. Willingham tucks it in and puts the championship to bed. Sweet dreams.
As long as soccer players celebrate with a slide, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Pressure! What pressure? The players on the...
A tennis league built on innovation, passion, and respect moves into the digital video age. For the first time, fans around the globe can stream every match from the World Team Tennis season on our new channel, WTT.tv, completely free. Watch major champions,
Incredible point.
and rising stars come together to compete for the coveted King Trophy.
So many great points in this one.
This summer, watch the entire season at WTT.tv, presented by Geico.
Cost of family time activities getting you down?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. If you or someone you know needs a healthy dose of nature, visit discovertheforest.org to find out which park or forest is closest to your family.
Acorns are not real currency, but that's okay because parks or forests are either free or super affordable. It's a truly economical way for the whole family to enjoy each other's company and bond beyond the confines of concrete buildings and rush hour.
I play hard. I took it up a notch. Then I got hurt. I couldn't ignore the knee pain. I was told by other doctors I needed a knee replacement and would never run again. Until I went to Penn. Their musculoskeletal center put together a team of specialists. Using their unique whole body approach and new procedure to repair cartilage, they made sure I kept my knee and my intensity. And my life, a life in motion, is worth Penn Medicine.
Come on, guys, pop it back up.
We know our customers have busy lives. That's why we're working hard to improve our customer service. Now with the My Account app, you never have to guess when I'll be there. So instead of cutting your day short, you can stay out just a little bit longer. I'm Jaquetta from Comcast. We should fit into your life, not the other way around.
Philadelphia Freedoms have only lost once in 10 tries this year. They haven't trailed a ton either, but they're behind at the outset on the road in Washington, D.C. Kastles taking the opening set of men's singles 5-3. Jason Appelese-Bergen getting you ready for women's singles to come. And Naomi Osaka ready to make her World Team Tennis debut. Suiting up here for the Castle, the latest superstar, and this one certainly on the rise with her play. Got her first WTA singles title this year at Indian Wells, beat the world #1 Simona Halep in the semifinals, reached the 4th round at the Australian. Of course, opened some eyes last year at the U.S. Open when she took out Angelique Kerber in the opening round. Kerber returned the favor en route to the Wimbledon title, taking out Osaka in round 4 this year at the All England Club. But so much promise, so much power here, Elise.
Absolutely, and she's now starting to gel. She's putting it all together. The first match I did of Osaka's was about 3 years ago, the Australian Open, and you just kind of it was a jaw-dropping experience to see her for the first time and to see that just unbridled power, the huge serve, the big forehand, and you just thought, when and if she puts it together, she's going to be so dangerous. And then you've got another dangerous player on the other side of the court who is on the verge of starting to put it together for herself in Taylor Townsend. Today, you're going to see the huge power of Osaka with the touch, the feel, the terrific athleticism of Taylor Townsend.
You used the similar terminology for Osaka. You maybe could use for Townsend, kind of when, if, soon. It seems like it, especially the way she's played here. Her numbers, Elise, in World Team Tennis this year are just kind of eye-popping. 40-15. It's the best winning percentage by far of anybody in World Team Tennis. She's won 73% of her games, 8 sets, 8 wins, forcing a lot of break points, continually seeming to put pressure on her opponents at all times in this one-set format.
Yes, and again, she's a lefty, and Philly's got 2 lefties that have been just such magic for them this season. And Taylor Townsend, you'll watch her and you'll see her finesse, her ability to move the ball around the court, the fact that she's thinking all the time out there, on top of the fact that her forehand is pretty big, but it's her hands, it's her real feel for the game that impresses you most, where you look at Osaka and you just think power, power, power. 2 very different players. I love this matchup. It will be interesting to see how Osaka deals with the one-set format, the quick tennis, the fact that you've got to play well right from the beginning.
And Townsend seems to have embraced it and embodied it and really flourished in it this year. She did that last year as well for Philadelphia. Certainly been a valuable performer. 22-year-old, 4th season with the Freedoms, 5 overall now in World Team Tennis.
And that's some nice serving to start off from Townsend. Not going with a hard flat serve, kind of kicking it in, putting a little pace on it, but more sending a signal to Osaka. I'm getting my first serves in. I'm not going to let you attack second serves. I'm going to make you come out and play right off the bat. And they are mixing it up with some serve and volley, and you see Osaka.
Is this a byproduct, Elise, of limited warm-up? It may be coming off the bench here in an unfamiliar setting for Osaka?
Absolutely, and you know, you haven't played any team tennis matches against someone who has, and they're 1, 2, 3, 4 Townsend, who's so grooved with how you play a World Team Tennis set. But now you're going to get a look at the serve of Naomi Osaka. So this is a serve and volley. She really didn't do that much with the volley, but Osaka didn't respond. But here it's going to be, how is Osaka going to serve? Her first serve is huge.
Well, that was like a stroll through the National Mall down the street in that opening game for Taylor Townsend. Osaka to serve for the first time.
And you're getting used to the lighting, the court, the whole thing, and you don't really have time to get used to it.
Well, Osaka getting into somewhat of an extended rally, and maybe that'll get her going.
That was good for her, and that was wonderful defense from Townsend, keeping herself in the point. But you're absolutely right. Osaka gets to hit a couple of balls, get the feel for this. Was wild with the first serve, the first point.
Townsend with a response down the line.
And that's just terrific on the run from Taylor Townsend. Osaka put in a pretty big first serve. And again, big first serve, but Townsend, very clever, didn't take a big swing at it, just kind of chipped that serve back into play and made Osaka hit a low ball.
And another one to the net. Couple of breakpoint opportunities here for Townsend, who has the opportunity to seize control. Geico timeout taken here by Murphy Jensen, trying to settle down Osaka.
Yeah, and he's just going to calm her down and tell her, look, she's not doing much with these returns. She's just chipping them back. Give yourself a little margin of error is probably what he's saying. Osaka trying to just pummel those low balls. You can't. You just got to make Townsend hit that next ball. You don't have to hit a winner off that little chip. Set yourself up for something that's much easier.
Osaka serving here at 1-3.
Townsend tried to run around it and hit the big forehand return. And what Murphy told Osaka, look for the chip return. She's not going to hurt you with the return off the first serve. She's just trying to get it back.
That'll erase some deficits when you have serves like that. Big time rocket from Osaka to get to a 3-all point.
And what Osaka possesses is that repeatable motion where she can continually serve big, and Townsend making Osaka go back and do it again in the ad court. That's the court Townsend prefers to play on, and taking away the wide serve from Osaka. And look where Taylor's way in the court, trying to intimidate.
That is a monster effort from Osaka, winning the last 3 points of this opening service game to get us to 1-all.
And you always look at that cumulative score, big difference between 6-4 and 5-all. And Townsend is usually very good off that forehand side. She gives herself great margin of error, and Osaka stayed with her.
So the set even. Overall, still a 2-point or 2-game advantage here for DC over Philadelphia. Last night, 23-18 the final. 3 of the 5 sets went to tie breaks. The big difference was 5-1 in women's doubles, and that really changed the complexion of things. Into that last match, Philadelphia had the advantage. King able to close the deal. But King down in the opening set tonight. Townsend tried to rally back here for Philly. And a double fault for Taylor Townsend. Former #1 ranked junior in the world, currently 61 in the world, facing a top 20 player in Osaka, who's number 17 currently in the WTA rankings. And if you look at Taylor, that left arm looks like there's been some cupping treatments there.
Yes,
again, it's been a little recovery here for Philadelphia, which is a part of a grueling run. Philly's got 5 matches in as many nights.
And that's uncharacteristic off the forehand of Townsend. She's feeling a little bit, but also feels the weight of shot of Osaka. And for Taylor Townsend, at 15 years old, she won the Australian Juniors, and there was so much expectation for her. Wow, that's huge from Osaka, and that is that unbridled power of hers. Off the forehand side, Townsend trying to go with the kick, but good footwork from Osaka, and she just pummeled that forehand.
Osaka coming through with a rare break of Taylor Townsend. And Washington pushing back here strongly after some jitters in her opening couple of games. And Taylor Townsend has only lost 15 games all season, but falling behind here. Player that's won all 8 single sets she's tried.
A couple of forehand errors from Townsend, and on the sidelines, Sasha Bajin, who is Naomi Osaka's tour coach, he came up to Murphy Jensen to tell him what to tell her.
Osaka from Japan, moved to the U.S. at an early age as a toddler, lives in Fort Lauderdale. Plays under the Japanese flag.
But again, you've got two players in Osaka and Townsend who know each other so well. Couple years difference in age. Townsend 2 years older, but Osaka grew up in the United States playing. Townsend, of course, American. And they would have played each other quite a bit in juniors.
Now, Naomi tossing in a double. So Taylor Townsend suddenly with a chance potentially with 2 more points to break right back. Murphy Jensen will take a Geico timeout. Osaka already at age 20 has made the 3rd round or better at all 4 majors. Into the top 20 for the first time in June. Chance to go back and make some more noise later on this summer at the U.S. Open.
And Osaka playing for Japan, good move financially in terms of all the contracts you can get being a Japanese player. I would say on the men's tour, after Federer and Nadal, Djokovic and Murray, Kei Nishikori has probably got the biggest contracts.
And in that country, certainly really relishing the chance to follow any international sports stars.
And Osaka, she packs a mean punch with power on the court, but very soft-spoken off the court, self-deprecating. That's a nice point from Townsend, using that forehand, giving herself a lot of air, getting that little angle, pulling Osaka off the court. And just watch this angle. It's short in the court. She's wrong footing Osaka.
Oof. And Osaka doubles to give the break right back to Taylor Townsend. 2-2 here. Freedoms in the Kastles women's singles. More action to come in a moment from DC.
So you just walk around telling people Geico could help them save money on car insurance?
Yeah, that and homeowners, renters, motorcycle and boat insurance.
Huh, that's nice. What happens when you catch a fish?
Oh!
Geico. More than just car insurance. See how much you could save at geico.com.
I'm okay!
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots
and close shaves.
of wins for the history books.
And of losses I'll never forget. But watch me smile.
Say good game. And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness
is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
Murphy Jensen still chatting with Naomi Osaka throughout this timeout. Osaka had the lead on Philadelphia's Taylor Townsend, but gifted it right back with a double fault to end her service game. So 2-2. Back on serve here, second of 5 sets. World Team Tennis tonight. Jason Epp, Lise Bergen, glad to have you along for the ride here. Philadelphia in first place in the league, just about ready to clinch one of the 2 playoff spots among the 6 franchises in the league to get to that World Team Tennis Final coming up August 5th. Washington among 3 or 4 other potential contenders to join the Freedoms in that final.
And this match at home so big for the Kastles because they're going to be going on the road, and if you get some momentum with a big win at home, it can just give them just such momentum down the stretch. At the change of sides, I was chuckling. Osaka had a lot of voices in her ear. She had Murphy Jensen, her coach, Sasha Bajan. Leander Paes is there.
Well, for a player that hasn't played World Team Tennis before and you're thrust into this environment, it must seem so strange.
It can be a little shocking, but it's you just love it. I mean, you just love that camaraderie. I mean, your teammates usually become friends for life.
And a lot of the players that have played college tennis talk so much about how they relish the opportunity to be part of a unit again. But it is such an individual sport for a lot of these players, especially kind of learning trial by fire, to have the on-court coaching, the timeouts, the stoppages, and have a lot of people kind of whispering in your ear.
And the change of scenery every single night, pretty much. You're playing on all these different courts, different surfaces, indoors, outdoors. Oh, she got away with one there, did Townsend. That one sat up, that volley. Oh, Osaka would love this back. This needed to be punished. And almost too much time.
Osaka able to bail herself out with that forehand fine down the line.
And what Taylor Townsend's doing is trying to mix things up. Doesn't want Osaka to know what she's going to do. Am I going to serve and stay back? Is she going to serve and come in? And once a player like an Osaka gets grooved, it is so difficult to stay with her because she can just overpower you.
So Townsend is able to navigate her way to the hold, up 3-2. And Elise, Madison Brengel's been kind of loosening on the bench. She's up with a racket here. I don't know if we may have a substitution or not.
I can't imagine.
Murphy Jensen is waving to Naomi Osaka right now, and I'm not sure if they're worried about.
I think her coach, Sasha Bajan, they're talking to her. Are you okay? Wow, pretty surprising.
I think that may have been part of all the talk and chatter there in that last kind of break where there are a lot of people around her. But Brengel's definitely been stretching and loosening on the side, and they may be taking Osaka out as they look at her right ankle.
And that's taking you out for the remainder.
So again, substitutions allowed here.
And she's talking to the doctor, the trainer.
And Murphy Jensen, you would expect.
It looks like her shake. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Something.
Working on the right leg there. Seem to be trying to stretch something out at this point. And Murphy Jensen talked earlier this year. The Bryan brothers were here. Of course, Bob Bryan had missed time with a hip and had warmed up to play in doubles, and it felt good then. But as the night progressed throughout the day, didn't feel really comfortable a couple of games in. And Murphy Jensen says, look, I'm not going to be the reason that he misses more time on tour.
Exactly.
So they pulled him out. And certainly you would expect them to use caution here with Osaka in this sequence.
And she's not only got a World Team Tennis coach, Murphy Jensen, there, she has Sasha Bison there, he's invested in Osaka long term, on tour. So, I think she's going to go back out.
So now Osaka coming back out, and her personal coach right there. We'll see how she fares. Again, Osaka coming back out. Brengel was ready. She's always ready, right?
Yeah, and she's going to be ready for doubles, for sure.
Certainly, we'll see her at some point. We expect coming up, although not listed in the current lineup, but certainly available off the bench if needed. I don't know about the right leg, but the right arm is fine.
You think it's okay? We know this is not an arm injury. And here you're Taylor Townsend. What do? Do you play aggressively, or you just try to keep points going, test the leg? It's always difficult when you're the opponent. Taylor's sitting out there. Well, am I about to be playing Brengel, or is Osaka coming back out?
Come on now, let her hear you.
Two such different players in Brengel and Osaka. And then Townsend did everything right, but we've seen her miss a couple of those little forehands. She's got to stay with that shot. This ball here, the slice, Townsend, she needed to get down with that one, and she pulled up a little short. And Townsend just keeping herself in that point. And Osaka had a real opportunity, probably should have come in. If you don't have that mindset to come in and volley, it's very difficult to take advantage of points that you've set up. You let your opponent off the hook.
So Osaka has managed to get herself to a point of squaring us up at 3 games apiece in the set and reestablishing that 2-game lead for the Kastles overall. She's done it. 3-3 here in the set. 8-6 Washington.
That just a huge game, and Townsend's got to be so disappointed in herself, missing those forehands.
And Naomi continuing to kind of, for lack of a better term, just play around with that right lower leg. And she'll look to continue here. Townsend ready to serve again. She's won 7 of 12 points in her first serve so far. Not that one. Wicked pass.
And Osaka was waiting for that serve and volley. I like that Townsend's mixing it up, but when you kick it in, you give your opponent that opportunity to just hit a big return. And a player with the firepower of Osaka, not going to be fooled. And again, the forehand error, and that's just so uncharacteristic from Taylor Townsend. That forehand to backhand combination, I would never hesitate to favor a Taylor Townsend, but right now, think different court. She hasn't played here in Washington on this court, and definitely having trouble on that side at the moment.
You saw her call herself for a Geico timeout. Coach Craig Carden out there to offer up some advice.
Yeah, and he's telling her, give yourself more margin off that side, off the forehand. You got the big topspin. Give yourself margin, some air over the net, and hit with depth. If you can get into that forehand to backhand exchange, you're going to be just fine.
Taylor Townsend had to be fun last night at home to play some doubles in her hometown of Chicago. Again, the Freedoms and the Kastles played last night. Excess Tennis Village there in Chicago.
Oh, and she made it. maybe a little closer than she would have liked, but that's the beauty of that taking advantage of those timeouts. Craig Carden really calmed her down, and she played one of her best points. And another there, we talked about just giving yourself some air, give yourself some margin.
What's interesting about that timeout, Taylor called for it herself. She really seems to have a great understanding of this concept. Yep. One of the team leaders, certainly doing a lot of building with her team. Credits that bonding for part of the reason this group is 9-1.
And put a difference, 3 points in a row. I think we saw 3 forehand errors in a row, and then it's now turned around and hit her forehand beautifully the last couple of points. And just watch, see the error, see a little that margin of error. Even though it was short, you're playing an opponent who's a little compromised.
So Townsend takes it 4-3. Osaka needs to serve to force us onto a tiebreak. If Townsend gets the break, she would take the set. It's interesting with these timeouts, you know, players on tour events, you know, they can kind of come up with timeouts themselves.
I love how you just very diplomatic.
My point being, would you rather a system like this where not a coach, but even the player could say, look, I've got 2, I'm going to take them,
I
as
need
opposed
my own
to
timeout.
Right,
yeah.
for whatever reason, as opposed to kind of the
injury?
Yeah.
The injury timeout or the bathroom break, or that was just such firepower from Osaka, and I love when you get that, you get an indication of what she can do, why she's so dangerous. And then you follow the big forehand up with a huge serve. And as a somewhat traditionalist with the sport, I like that in tennis you have to think for yourself, that coaching, especially in the slams, is not allowed, is not legal, we should say. But it's part of the beauty of the sport. But many argue that it helps the sport if players can be coached in matches.
Osaka pumping that long with a wry smile.
Yeah, she played 2 great points and then turns around and then misses big there with that backhand.
Well, you can see the skills that have allowed her to beat the likes of Maria Sharapova, Simona Halep, even Serena Williams earlier this year in Miami. But at age 20, you can see that part too. Now another wide miss, and Townsend has the chance to take the set.
And this is a player, Osaka, in Indian Wells. She won 7 matches to win that title and over $1 million.
Townsend can't find the line, and we go to a 3-all point.
And Townsend got away from the game plan there. She just been very steady with those cross-court forehands for the last several points. So this is huge. Craig Carden now coming out to talk to Taylor Townsend, and you know he's going to tell her, stick with your bread and butter. If you get in that point, try to go forehand to backhand, cross-court, give yourself some air on the ball.
Washington's won both 3-all points so far in the match. Tennis Sandgren won one in his victory over Kevin King. And Naomi Osaka won one earlier here against Taylor Townsend. Townsend wins this one. She and Philadelphia take the set and tie the overall match. If not, Osaka pushes her hopes and the Kastles' hopes in this set to a tiebreak.
Yeah, and it's amazing how important those 3-all points are, how the match can just teeter on it going one way or the other. And that's huge from Osaka, big first serve.
117 mile per hour ace there for Naomi Osaka to get it to the tiebreak. Now Murphy Jensen again with a rookie in her first set of World Team Tennis is explaining clearly
what
the
you have
tiebreak
to do,
rules.
because she's not used to a 9-point tiebreak coming up. She's used to the tour, the 12-point tiebreaker, where it's 1st to 7. He's telling her it's 2, 2, 2, 3. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3.
Osaka and Townsend. Freedom serving first.
Oh, that was just a really nice point. Townsend, that slice forehand stayed so low. Osaka, the first time, she handled the backhand beautifully, but couldn't come up with it there.
Philly striking first in the tiebreak.
Look at these slice forehands. Goodness. Wow, that was just pretty interesting to watch Townsend go into the slice off her forehand when her topspin forehand so good.
So a mini break for Osaka in this 1st to 5 winner-take-all tiebreak.
In Townsend's game, she's got so much variety. She's almost got too many choices.
Osaka pushing through. Taylor Townsend has had opportunities galore to put this game away earlier. 6 breakpoint chances, only cashed in on 1. Osaka only winning 50% of her first serve points, but yet leading here in the tiebreak.
Well, that's terrific defense from Townsend. Kept herself in the point. Watch this forehand. She's on the stretch, keeping it low with that little almost squash shot.
Osaka and Townsend feels like they're going the distance even in this tiebreak. It's kind of seemed that way since Townsend got the quick break back after Osaka broke in the third game. Fans here engaged. Again, two best teams in World Team Tennis so far in 2018 record-wise. Meeting again for the second time in less than 24 hours. And again, last night in Chicago, 3 of the 5 sets ended in tiebreakers. Washington actually took 2 of the 3, but again, big difference. Women's doubles, Philly thrashed the Kastles 5-1. Ended up winning by 5 on the night.
Beautifully done. That is just so sweet from Townsend. You just saw it all that point. Her incredible physical ability.
Textbook Townsend for what she's been able to do so far in World Team Tennis this season. One more on her serve. And now Townsend a point away, but Osaka has the final potential 3 points of this tiebreak on her rack.
Let me hear you say it. Refuse to lose. Louder, refuse to lose.
Well, it's now 3 consecutive set points for Townsend. Her undefeated streak on the line.
One of the most rigorous tests of the season for Taylor Townsend, and once again, she passes. 9 sets of women's singles and 9 W's posted for the high-flying Philadelphia Freedom. Naomi Osaka pushed her all the way, but falls in the tiebreak 5-4, and the Freedoms slice into that Kastles lead. It's down to 1 through 2 sets with men's doubles coming up next. More World Team Tennis presented by Geico from DC in just a moment.
All right, everybody, I am here.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more, but by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
A tennis league built on innovation, passion, and respect moves into the digital video age. For the first time, fans around the globe can stream every match from the World Team Tennis season on our new channel, WTT.tv, completely free. Watch major champions,
Incredible point.
and rising stars come together to compete for the coveted King Trophy.
So many great points in this one.
This summer, watch the entire season at WTT.tv, presented by Geico.
In 1974, we founded a tennis league that was built on innovation, team spirit, and excitement. Now, 4 decades later, we're changing the game again and bringing World Team Tennis into the digital video age. This season, for the first time ever, you can stream every match from World Team Tennis on our new channel, WTT.tv, in high definition and completely free of charge. Check it out at WTT.tv.
Nearly all profits from Bloomberg LP go to Bloomberg Philanthropies, which is dedicated to saving and improving lives around the world. So when you work for or with Bloomberg, you're doing a whole lot of good. Learn more about our good work at Bloomberg.org.
The human body is an amazing structure of joints, muscles, and bones, working in perfect harmony. I chose Penn because their musculoskeletal center works the same way. They did not just see my arthritic hips, they saw me from a unique whole-body perspective, then worked as a cohesive team to get me back not just to dancing in competitions, but winning them. And my life, a life on the dance floor, is worth Penn Medicine.
One game separating two of the best in world team tennis in 2018. First place Philadelphia and second place Washington. Kastles on top of the Freedoms 9-8. Chasing Annalise Bergen ready for men's doubles. We'll see Tennis Sandgren for the Kastles and Kevin King for Philadelphia. They played just a bit earlier. And Robert Lindstedt will be out there for the Kastles to partner with Sandgren, and Fabrice Martin will be pairing up here with Kevin King as we get set for the third set here of the 5 on the schedule. We look at men's doubles. Washington's got 44 game wins to 39 for Philadelphia, but Philly actually has a better winning percentage, winning 53% of their games. Washington, 51% win rate. We'll see who can get it done here in a tight affair in the swing set, if you will, right in the middle. As the Kastles fans here at Kastles Stadium enjoying some quality tennis. Naomi Osaka really pushing Taylor Townsend maybe as much as she's been pushed by anyone this season, and Townsend finding a way again.
Absolutely, and it was Townsend just coming through in that tiebreak. She is so much more used to how you play a World Team Tennis set than Osaka, but Osaka, she acquitted herself very nicely, at least if you're going to lose in that tiebreak, only a 1-game difference. And now here we've got the men's doubles, and you've got two incredible doubles players out there. Robert Lindstedt for the Kastles and Fabrice Martin for the Freedoms. Lindstedt, one of the great doubles players in the men's game, 3 Wimbledon finals, Australian Open champion.
Still getting it done at age 41.
Yeah. And Tennis Sandgren does not serve and volley in doubles, so it's up to Lindstedt at the net to intimidate, to move around, to cross, and help his partner out. Sandgren's got a big enough first serve for Lindstedt to really move around. Yeah.
The serve streak, Elise, for Sandgren is over. It had been 17 straight points. He won all 16 points on his serve in his singles match, the first one here in doubles. And now another point for the Kastles. That return just wide from Philadelphia.
Hawkeye is never wrong. And even if Hawkeye was wrong, Hawkeye wouldn't tell you.
That's right.
She was wrong. Well, if Hawkeye was ever wrong, it would be the he for Hawkeye, not the she.
And that silence is golden now. And sometimes you'd even get those physical responses from linespersons out there. You could even kind of read, but now you're looking around. Players that have played few, used to it now. 2-2 here in this game. Fabrice Martin there, 6'6" Frenchman, 31 years of age, along with Kevin King.
Oh, and there's Lindstedt. He's just going to take care of that one.
Only issue there, he didn't hit
the net.
He didn't hit the net, didn't hit the opposition, but he almost took out his bench. Watch the result here. Yep.
But he knew. All right, he tried to bounce it over everyone's head.
They were ready for it there, and they'll take it. As Lindstedt and Sandgren are on the verge of holding in the opening game. There it is.
Big first serve from Sandgren. Good return from Martin, but Lindstedt at the net, he's just so good, so quick, agile. Still at 41, incredibly agile.
Fabrice Martin will serve here to start for Philadelphia from France, lives in Florida. Been a regular for the Freedoms last couple of seasons, 3rd year in a row with his franchise, past male rookie of the year in World Team Tennis.
And you talk about Lindstedt at 41, and you see how careers, and he's just playing doubles, but even so, careers are being elongated. The physicality of the game is much greater, but the techniques for recovery, the training techniques, nutrition, all of those things are elongating careers. That's just fun tennis. Good point from all four.
Well, if that's the case, as you look at King, athletic, he's 6'3" and able to stretch out for this point. That means Martin's got a long time to go at age 31. Got his 3rd ATP doubles crown last year in Doha with Jeremy Chardy. It's funny, you used to talk, you know, early 30s, a lot of players are bowing out. We're seeing some stay longer in singles and a lot stay a lot longer in doubles.
For me, it was 31. It was enough. But you know, if you were playing in this generation, your early 30s can be the time of your best tennis. Your 2 Wimbledon champions this year, both over the age of 30.
Philly gets the hold as King crunches down another overhead.
And of course, it was Mike Bryan in men's doubles at Wimbledon at 40.
So Robert Lindstedt at 41, had the chance to chat with him last week about that topic. He said everybody at Wimbledon asking how long you're going to be going along. He's healthier this year, had some nagging injuries last year. He said, I'm 41 and I'm a tennis player.
Yeah. And then we saw here a couple nights ago, we saw Daniel Nestor at 45. And he is retiring now at the end of this year because finally his body is just not responding the way it needs to respond.
Lindstedt says, as long as they let me play, I'm going to keep on playing.
Why not?
Still successful. His serve helping set up Sandgren. Said last year it felt like he had a half dozen tears. Just different things. Pain wasn't awful, but sometimes the mental toil can be just as worse. King able to split the Kastles and even it up, or excuse me, get on the board here. 2-1, the lead for the Kastles in the game.
And if you watch Lindstedt serve, he stands way behind that baseline and he takes the big step forward. Oh my, that was uncharacteristic. Gets himself into net quickly, but if he stood closer, he would definitely be foot faulting. So he knows he's got to stand back. Look how far back he is. Takes that big step.
Elise, it looks awkward sometimes, and if the timing is
Absolutely.
off, it really looks
Yes,
like it's
agreed.
elusive. Yes.
And we've seen some double faulting from him this season.
But it works, and again, at 41, if it works.
You know what? Whatever you're doing at 41, whether you've got to take 5 steps.
Geico timeout taken here by Philadelphia, and Lindstedt at the ready. You mentioned won the Australian in 2014 with Lucas Kubat. 3 straight doubles trips at Wimbledon with Horia Takao. You figured you cash in on one of them, but short. 2010, 2011, 2012, losing in the finals. Made the U.S. Open semis in doubles in 2015.
He said that when he finally won that Australian Open, that it was just overwhelming because he'd been chasing it for so long, and those 3 Wimbledon losses were so painful. Oh, and Sandgren had it.
Now
That's
pressure
painful.
here. You're even. Suddenly you're a point away from falling down. Lindstedt has to summon something here on this serve. And Philadelphia gets the break. Last night there were no break point chances the entire set for these two teams when they went head-to-head in Chicago. King and Martin won in the tiebreak. First break point, Philly cashes in.
And that was a terrific return, and it was such a huge point. But the cross error from Sandgren really turned out to be painful in terms of the score. And it's just 1 point here or there, and you either gain momentum or you lose momentum.
Now you talked about the tricky lefty serve of King. Thrust into this 1-set mix. It gave Sandgren some problem in singles and did again there on that last point. 2 quickies here for the Freedom.
All right, well, he'll gladly accept that double fault, will Lindstedt. And remember, King double faulted that final point to Tennis Sandgren in the singles set.
A 27-year-old from Peachtree City, Georgia.
Playing the modified eye. Nice return. That was just a terrific pickup from King off of a good return from Sandgren.
Shout out for me, fans. Refuse to lose.
And here it is. Look at that pickup. And he not only hits the half volley, but can take the offensive off the next shot.
Whoa, tricky stuff from King, and that lefty serve out wide, and Philadelphia consolidates the break. 3-1 here in the set, and Philadelphia has the upper hand overall. 11-10 here against the Kastles. More World Team Tennis presented by Geico coming up in just a moment.
Still nervous about finding a new apartment?
Yeah, but popping these things really helps me. Relax. Please don't. I'm saving those for later.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about renter's insurance. Just go to geico.com.
Geico helps with renter's insurance. It's good to know.
Been doing it for years.
That's really good to know. I'll check them out.
Get to know Geico and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.
Kastles Stadium here at the Smith Center at George Washington University on campus here in D.C. Electric as usual. But Philadelphia thriving on the road. Kevin King, Fabrice Martin have vaulted themselves and their team ahead here at the Kastles. 11-10 in the overall score. 3-1 in the set as Lindstedt and Sandgren try to work to stay in it. First point of this Kastles service game to the Freedoms.
It's a huge game for both, especially for the Kastles and Tennis Sandgren to hold first point. They got into that kind of baseline to baseline rally where King worked his way in and Sandgren was behind that baseline. Got to stay aggressive. And again, Sandgren just, because he doesn't serve and volley, he's got to be alert on that second ball because he's playing two guys that are going to just keep coming at you. And you know they're huddling, and you have to think that Lindstedt is telling them, you get this first serve in, I'm moving. I'm going to help you out.
Out of the eye, no movement needed. Martin couldn't get anything on the return.
But it's the net person. It's Lindstedt's got that responsibility to get into the head of the returner. Is he going to move? Is he going to stay? What's he going to do? If you're the returner, you've got to just pick your poison, pick your spot, and know where you're going to return and not pay attention to the net man.
Sandgren stepping into one.
And off the backhand. Amazingly, watch this. Sandgren, look at him run around the forehand to hit the backhand, and he just nails it. That was huge.
Washington does hold. Philadelphia still up 3-2, but we're all even in the set at 11 apiece. Excuse me, in the match at 11 apiece.
And you keep an eye on the set score, but especially an eye on that cumulative score, which is so tight, 11 apiece. That's why they say, I mean, it's the brilliance of World Team Tennis, of the concept. Every game matters. You can't take any points off.
Fabrice Martin made the semifinals in Lyon and the third round at the Australian Open earlier this season. Graduate of the IMG Academy in Florida and still lists Bradenton in the Sunshine State as his home.
And if you're King, you just hang on top of the net off that big first serve of Martin. It just gives you so much opportunity. And the big man, 6'6", putting the big serve. And look at King. He is just on top of that net.
Geico timeout taken here by the Kastles. Two big swings from Martin. Murphy Jensen in his 20th season in World Team Tennis overall. 10 as a player, 10 now as coach of the Kastles. Trying to get his tandem back on track. Can they come up with a service break? Maybe not if Martin continues to fire missiles like that.
Well, Murphy always brings just great intensity and enthusiasm to his coaching with the Kastles. And I know you've shared the booth with Luke, and you've Luke Jensen, his brother. Together they won the French Open. Both guys just got incredible energy.
That was magic from King to find a way after making the mistake of not playing it early.
Yeah, and I thought that they may get away with this. Look at the little hesitation from Sandgren to get in, but once he finally closes, he hits a terrific volley there, a short volley, and then takes care of the overhead. That was big. Playing the I formation is Kevin King. And it just is enough movement to get into the head of the returner of Sandgren.
Do you? Get him up. Let me hear you. Refuse to lose.
Martin with that majestic serve. Able to put Philadelphia a point away from a 4-2 lead in the set and back on top in the overall.
Well, not sure if Lindstedt's return was what he had wanted, but in the end, it worked.
Lindstedt Sandgren hanging around in the game. Great way to bail yourself out. Smoking a big-time serve to finish off the hold. 4-2 Philly in the set. 12-11 Philly in the match.
And that's just one of those serves that you just say too good. That was just a huge serve from Martin. You didn't want to face a 3-all point, and that's how you eliminate that idea.
So Lindstedt ready to go.
It was Lindstedt who was broken his last service game. He was serving on the other side of the court then.
The Philadelphia unit, and they played together all season. King and Martin have been the duo throughout for Philadelphia in men's doubles.
Oh, well.
Sandgren couldn't get the overhead to go. Lindstedt, that one did go.
Sandgren almost missed that one, but kept it in. This is a little awkward. All right, Lindstedt, I'm going to finish this off. On these quick courts, small court, not a lot of room on the sides. Things happen so quickly. The points are so quick.
Big serve from the 41-year-old Swede. His first full season of World Team Tennis, did fill in as a sub last year. Really enjoying the team concept. Played a ton of Davis Cup for his nation.
Oh, nice. Nice from Lindstedt, and played college tennis. First at Fresno State, then at Pepperdine.
I asked him too if he played any other team sports. You get guys that play college tennis. He said he played floorball growing up. I'd never heard of it. It's developed in Sweden in the 60s and 70s and popular in sections of Europe. Think kind of like floor hockey, but instead of a ball, they use a puck. They use a ball with plastic holes. Said it's certainly good for kind of working on your cardio, as you would expect.
Interesting. And you know all these sports as the curling expert. You know a lot of sports that are not everyday sports in our lexicon.
But I had not heard of floorball, so unique to see that. Pockets of Europe, it's popular, but I don't know how much you can make on tour in floorball. As a tennis player, I believe Robert Lindstedt made the right choice.
I believe so.
Yeah. So Philadelphia and the Kastles here. Second serve for Lindstedt, trying to put this away and force Philly to serve it out on its own.
Ouch. 3-all, 8 points. Receiver strikes.
And Sandgren not quite as comfortable at the net with those volleys. And that one hurt too. And as we said, it happened so quickly. The ball coming at you so quickly. We got the Geico timeout.
Now this would be monumental on the night if Lindstedt Sandgren falter here. The set goes to Philly, and the lead is up to 2 for the Freedoms.
Leander Pay's out there talking to Lindstedt and Sandgren. They are plotting this next point.
Well, all three 3-all points on the night have gone to Washington. Philadelphia coming in, leading the league in winning percentage of 3-all points at 60%. Odds are, if that season-long trend continues, Phillies do.
Well, let's see what they came up with together. Where are they going to play Are they going to play traditional? Where's Lindstedt going to serve? Is Sandgren going to cross?
Big serve from Robert Lindstedt. And a clutch moment for the Kastles. They get another game and know that even if King and Martin hold here coming up, the Philadelphia lead will only be 1 after 3 sets.
Well, you take that timeout, you give yourself just a little breather and calm yourself down, and Lindstedt just tremendously big serve there.
Philly trying to end the set. Kastles looking for a break to get to a tiebreak.
Right, and then just like that, you throw in the big first serve, then you hit a big return and you put some pressure on your opponent. So they're playing that I formation. We'll see where King goes. Now he gets that first serve in, and when you've got a 6'6" guy like Fabrice Martin at the net, that court looks very small when you're Sandgren trying to hit that return.
And another handcuffing return from Lindstedt and Sandgren.
And then you're tennis Sandgren, and you've got to return against King on the side that King favors, serving into this ad court lefty serve. But he gets a look at a second. If I'm Sandgren, maybe try to be aggressive off this return. And it's just, again, just so tough when you got the 6'6" Martin just looming over that net.
King here, 2-2. Uncorked a beauty.
And Lindstedt had hit 2 very good returns, his first 2 points to return that game. But this, absolutely right, Jason, that's a handcuffer.
120 to the body. 128 to the body. And now King trying to close the set. Fabrice Martin with the finishing touch, an emphatic exclamation point on the set. And Philadelphia comes through in men's doubles. 5-3 Freedoms, 13-12 Philly overall. So the Kastles broken in the midpoint of the set, and Philadelphia able to ride it out and ride to the top of the lead here in this big-time matchup. First place team in World Team Tennis in front here, 13-12, Philly over Washington. More to come coming up from D.C.
Still a chance here. It's Willingham, edge of the box. Willingham shoots. Goal! That was magic. Willingham tucks it in and puts the championship to bed. Sweet dreams. Nice.
As long as soccer players celebrate with a slide, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Pressure. What pressure? The players on the...
Tired of being told to be quiet and to only wear white?
They brought their best to this court.
This summer, watch major champs and rising stars battle for the Billie Jean King Trophy. Stream every match free at WTT.tv.
Excellence teams and their coaches, represented by boys and girls.
5-3, Kastles took the opening set, but the Freedoms have stormed back to take the next two. 5-4 in women's singles, 5-3 in men's doubles. Women's doubles, mixed doubles to come here. World Team Tennis presented by Geico. Of course, all these teams looking to hoist the King Trophy at the end of the year as the World Team Tennis overall champion, and each of the players competing to take the Forevermark Most Valuable Player Awards to be decided also at the end of the season. Take a look at the special honor for the best male and female players in World Team Tennis.
Players from 14 countries across 6 different teams, 43 matches over 3 weeks. Who will make their mark in the race for the championship and the coveted King Trophy? This year's most valuable players, 1 male, 1 female. The Forevermark MVP Awards unfold during the World Team Tennis Finals.
Again, here at the intermission of World Team Tennis, it's Philadelphia Freedoms looking to run their record to 10-1 in this 14-game regular season. Stout stuff indeed. The advantage here against the Washington Kastles. We'll have more tennis action coming up momentarily here from Kastles Stadium in D.C.
So when you work for
staff is here to help. Thank you for your cooperation. Tonight's tennis matches are being played on Geico Turf, the official tennis court surface of World Team Tennis and the official surface of the U.S. Open since 1978. Don't you want to play on Geico Turf? Please visit Geico Turf's website at geicoturf.com for more information. Hey fans, it's never been easier to get your kids into the great game of tennis. The United States Tennis Association is offering a free first-time membership to kids 10 and under, so they can get started in a sport they'll enjoy for a lifetime. Visit the USTA membership for more details on this limited time offer. Looking for some down-home Italian cooking? Well, head to Mama Lucia. This is one of their 6 Maryland locations. That's Mama Lucia. Hey fans, be sure to stop by the Kastles team stores to get all the latest Washington Kastles gear. The Kastles have a full range of t-shirts, hats, hoodies, and jerseys. There's no better way to show your pride for your 6-time champion Washington Kastles than sporting your Kastles gear. And it makes a great gift too. Be sure to visit our website at kastlesgear.com. And don't forget, big sale tonight, so head upstairs to our new store.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more, but by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This summer,
That was an incredible point.
for the first time, stream every thrilling point, game, and fast-paced match from the World Team Tennis season completely free. Stream it all season long at WTT.tv.
WTT.tv is brought to you by Citi. Welcome What's Next.
Women's doubles is up next here. Part of the night, World Team Tennis presented by Geico. Jason Appelese-Bergen. Philadelphia has surged from behind after dropping the opening set. Philly getting a big win from Fabrice Martin, Kevin King in men's doubles to push themselves ahead here. 5-3 the score in that set. Makes it 13-12 overall in front of the team that's in the lead in World Team Tennis in the standings this year, Philadelphia Freedoms. And Madison Brengel, who warmed up earlier when Naomi Osaka had some treatment on her right leg in singles. Osaka did finish the match, but Brengel will come in here and play with Nicole Melikar in women's doubles for the Castles.
And this match, that matchup last night, Melikar-Brengel against Attal and Taylor Townsend was the difference, was the big difference maker because Attal and Townsend played so well.
Actually, Sloane Stevens
Oh,
had
Sloane, I take it all back.
Yep, Sloane Stevens had
Played.
jumped in last night. But your point is well taken because Townsend and Attal have played terrific when they've played together so far this year.
That's exactly right. I'm thinking it was the matchup. It was the team. It was the team matchup that made the huge difference last night. But you've got such experience with Raquel Attal out there in doubles, and she and Sloane Stevens together. Excuse me, she and Taylor Townsend together, which we're going to see now, are gelling just beautifully. You've got the lefty in Townsend, and Attal, you've got the experience, one of the best doubles players in the world over the last 10, 12 years.
It's interesting for Philadelphia, the men, Martin and King, have been constants all year. It's been the women that have kind of shifted around. We also saw Gabby Dabrowski in for 3 consecutive nights playing some doubles for Philadelphia. A Grand Slam doubles champion. Now it's Brengel and Melikar against Townsend and Attal. Taylor Townsend getting off that thrilling singles victory against Osaka will start the service here for Philly.
Well, you do have one Grand Slam champion on this court as of about 2 weeks ago at Wimbledon. Nicole Melikar amazingly got to the finals of the women's doubles and then wins the mixed. Comes into World Team Tennis with so much confidence, but also the change of surface, the change of environment hasn't been particularly easy per se.
Townsend and Raquel Attal again playing a ton this year. Philadelphian women's doubles has a league best 47 game wins, winning 61% of those games. And they're a point away from starting strong here against Melikar and Brengel.
Well, and you're going to see Attal and Townsend playing so aggressively. Taylor Townsend, we saw her serving and volleying some points in the women's singles. You know she's going to serve and volley all the time in the doubles, and Attal is serving a serve and volleyer against Brengel and Melikar, who are pretty much going to serve and stay back.
So Attal and Townsend, quick work in Taylor's opening service game. And now Melikar ready to go here with the first service effort for the Kastles. You mentioned it, not only did she get her first ever Grand Slam doubles title, almost got 2 in the same weekend.
Yeah. Back to back within a day of each other, playing those finals. But this game is huge for Melikar. She played a couple matches with Venus Williams, and they played doubles together here, and it was difficult for Melikar playing with. It just appeared like, oh my gosh, even I'm on the court with Venus Williams, and I think much more comfortable. She and Brengel know each other so well, very close friends. With Venus serve first in this matchup. It's Melikar serving first, and Melikar's got to set the tone with her big serves, with her big groundies.
Melikar lives in Florida, first season with the Washington Kastles, Brengels.
And the difference in this match is you've got 2 players who are always going to be aggressive in terms of coming in, looking to do damage at the net. And Attal, she's a real pro. Watch this. Watch the move right here. She's going to just take control of the middle. If you're serving, she's saying, if you're serving and staying back, I am going after you at the net.
Quality serve, Melikar. Again, her women's doubles partner, Kaveta Peshki, they lost in the final, and then she partnered up with Alexander Peya. They beat Jamie Murray and Victoria Azarenka in the mixed finals. Peya is in attendance here watching his partner.
And that's some of the best aggression I've seen from Brengel and Melikar at the net, going after it. This is a huge game for the Kastles, for Melikar. She's got to hold serve, set a tone.
Again, this duo has played a few sets this year in World Team Tennis. They also made a semifinal in Auckland together as a pair on tour. So experience for this Kastles duo. And again, as Elise talked about, they know each other and clearly like each other playing together. 1-1 here in the set.
If you're interested in becoming a 2019 Kastles season ticket holder, head to the box office tonight. Visit WashingtonKastles.com or call 202.
Smiles fun.
Yeah.
Critiquing each other's shots.
And of course, they have that famed moment, whether you see it on YouTube or wherever, when Madison Brengel was playing Serena Williams. Melikar came out on the court as Brengel's coach, and Brengel, who was beating Serena, she said, well, she can't believe how bad I am. And she wasn't bad at all, because she ended up beating Serena Williams, did Madison Brengel. But it was just one of these incredible, fun interactions. The coaching interactions are usually so droll and whatever they are, and this one was so fun.
Raquel Attal, she's been after this in the tennis game for a while, but a pro since 2004. From California, lives in San Jose, another college tennis product, 3-time All-America for the Cal Golden Bears.
Nobody home, and there was a little miscommunication between Attal and Townsend there. And as Brengel picks her spot, and she's, what do they say? Hit it where they ain't. And that's what happened there. With such quick hands at the net from Taylor Townsend. That was a good return from Melikar.
Let's get behind Nick and Maddie. Shout out to him.
Check out the Townsend hand here. Pretty good return, but she is just on this.
And then trying to steer the lob over top. Not enough on it. Townsend with a put away.
And
that's just a classic serve and volley from Attal.
Well, let's see those signs. Get him up, get him up, get him up. Let me hear you shout.
This is old school. You don't see it as much. And here serves, gets in. Classic. Well, that's why she got to the finals of doubles at Wimbledon, because she was hitting the ball so big off the ground. Punishes that second serve.
Big rip from a newly minted Grand Slam champ. And Attal finding a little something in reserve for that ace. Philly holds up 2-1. 15-13 the freedom advantage overall.
This would be a serve. It was close. This, you know, if you were playing on the tour, you'd try to challenge that one, but no.
No challenge with Hawkeye Live. It's got the call.
And you think about the time that's spent challenging calls, and that's terrific. What movement from Brengel moving in, but But you talk about the innovations of World Team Tennis and keeping matches going, and the Hawkeye line calling. If you don't think the tours are taking notice, men's and women's tour, the Grand Slams, of how things are just moving along with this all-court line calling from Hawkeye. You can't question, you can't scream at the umpire. It is what it is, and you just keep moving along. This is definitely the future. I don't know how long it's going to take for the tours to enact this. It's expensive, but it's coming. And Brangle, she's the perfect World Team Tennis player. She's game for whatever, whether it's singles and doubles, and got great energy. Afraid of no one.
Well, that was on exhibit last night, as we noted before. Brangle really in a big-time battle with Sloane Stephens last night. Drops the first 4 points of a 9-set tiebreak and just reeled off 5 straight. That refuse to lose mentality that's a mantra for the Kastles on display. Good communication between the Freedoms. Townsend calling for the overhead, and then Tao winning at the net.
Yeah, and this a nice lob from Brangle, but look at Tao. She just knows where to be on that court. How to close, how to be aggressive. There's no doubt in my mind that Tao's been very good for Taylor Townsend this season. Not just doubles, with Taylor singles. Great influence. Along with Craig Carden.
To a 3-all point we go. Townsend and Tao working their way back in on this Brangle service game. Geico timeout being taken. Fabrice Martin, as we've seen at times throughout the season, he's the one to come out to just offer a quick word of encouragement to this duo. Coach Jensen out for Washington.
Well, you think about it, these 3-all points. You're plotting a 1 point. You're plotting where am I serving? What's my partner going to do? How are we going to play this 1 point that's so huge? Just like that, and they plotted it, they planned it, and executed it perfectly, and that was huge for the Kastles and for Melekar and Brangle.
A big, big, big hold here for the Washington Kastles. Brangle the serve, Melekar the put away, and we're on serve here in women's doubles. Philly still up by a game. More action to come from DC in a moment.
Still nervous about finding a new apartment?
Yeah, but popping these things really helps me relax. Please don't. I'm saving those for later.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about renter's insurance. Just go to Geico.com.
Geico helps with renter's insurance. It's good to know.
Been doing it for years.
That's really good to know. I'll check them out.
Get to know Geico and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.
Taylor Townsend, Raquel Tao, ready to work again here in the land of the Washington Kastles. 15-14 lead for Philly. Latest 5 all-point went to Washington. All 5 of them, excuse me, 3 all-points have gone to the Kastles tonight.
Oh, goodness. That was an opportunity lost. When you see the lob, it is just cardinal rule in doubles. You get the lob over their heads. You both, right now, you both have to come in. And they both hesitated. No one came in. And then they got caught. Malakar got caught. Just tactical mistake. And that's just a wicked slice out wide.
You mentioned the array of options that Taylor Townsend has at disposal. Not only in the all-around game, you see a lot of that in the serve. A lot of options, a lot of motions, a lot of position, changing speeds.
Absolutely. She's just very talented at the hands. Just got incredible talent with the hands. Can do anything with the racket. It's a little bit like a wand for her.
You know, sometimes when you've got a true power player, you've got to kind of really lock in on that one. When she's got so many and so many different ways, how do you settle in as a returner?
And there's an example. You do the right thing. She got it. Look how close she was to the net. You just don't execute. There's sometimes when you make a mistake, you're like, oh, that's terrible. I did the right thing. I just didn't execute, and you go on to the next point. But when you're a player like Townsend, you're not going to knock anyone over with your power, but what you do, you beat them with your variety, with your athletic ability.
That point is out. Brenkel and Mellikar realize it. Tough to hear that call from Hawkeye Live amongst the raucous crowd here in D.C.
Oh, well, that was the point of this entire match. That was tremendous. Look at this. Well, that's how it ended, but we saw it all. Well, yeah, you see. You gotta love it.
They're doing their celebration dance. Geico timeout taken here. And Elise, that may be the one instance where not having lines officials out there hurts because you can't see that visual call when the crowd's so loud.
Right, exactly. That's very true.
The only way you knew was Washington was dancing up off the bench because they could see it on their side.
Oh, what a point. And it was interesting. A couple points prior, when they got the lob over their opponents' heads, they stayed back. They learned from that, and they came forward that last point. Oh, and that's a real pro in a towel. Like, oh, we just lost that disappointing point. Let's just become amnesiacs, forget about it, and go play the next point. Quiet that crowd down, and this is huge coming up the 3-all. And smart letting Mellikar take away that wide serve from Taylor Townsend. Oh.
Washington's run of success on 3-all points finally shattered. Philly, which leads the league in that category, but not tonight, gets one here. Townsend and a towel kind of dance their way together to the 3-2 lead. Philly up 16-14 on the night.
And that's so disappointing for Mellikar. She had it just measured and just got over anxious, and she knows she's got to make that return. In World Team Tennis, 3-all points, second serve, you have to make the return. You know your opponents are going to be a little nervous. And now she's got to forget about that. And focus on holding. Now that's just really nice teamwork from Townsend and Attal.
Come on, friends, let's get behind Nikki and Maddie.
Watch Taylor here. Watch her cover and handles this so well. And then Attal going to finish things off. I formation from Melikar and Bringle.
Emphatic put away Taylor Townsend. And now Philly pushing towards potential break in this game.
Bringle did the right thing. She moved, just couldn't do enough with that volley. And you've just got two very good volleyers with Attal and Townsend out there.
And wow, that magnifies the problem. Double fault from Melikar, and suddenly it's a handful of potential break points here for Philly to play with. That's a Geico timeout, unquestionably there from Murphy Jensen.
And you talk about how every single point, every game matters because the scoring is cumulative, and the difference for Bringle and Melikar, if they lose this game, you've got to think of that cumulative score. It's going to be 17-14, 3-game swing.
It was a different tandem last night. Yet it was Townsend and Stevens, but they did a number on this Washington duo 5-1. You know the doubles duo for the Kastles does not want to be the weak link tonight again.
Oh, that serve sat up and Attal had it, so she got away with one there. I mean, you think about Melikar, the pressure she's dealt with in the last couple of weeks, a Wimbledon final in doubles, a championship in mixed. So she's played lots of big points lately. Nicely done. And I like the recognition from Bringle that Attal is so good at the net that next ball might come back. It came back, but she was ready. And check this out. She moves, but she knows it's coming back, and there, sweetly handles that volley. We'll talk about important points. From love 3, 2-3. First serve's important here for Melikar. They go from the I formation back to traditional on the second serve.
And a double from Melikar to give the break to Philadelphia. Freedoms also jump up by 3 overall. That is potentially devastating. Melikar miffed, but needs to put it in the back burner now because they've got to try to find a way to fight through the serve of Raquel Attal. Philadelphia been so good in a lot of categories this year, women's doubles in particular, with breaks. Their 13th break of serve, had close to 50 break point opportunities.
Well, they're just working so well together. Not afraid to move, both with the terrific volleys. And Attal in her career been to the semis of 3 slams. 2015 and 2016 at Wimbledon. Abby Spears. She and Spears played together for more than a decade. She's now having success with Grunefeld on tour.
It's interesting in the landscape where everyone knows everyone in doubles. Earlier this year, Natal and her partner got the win in Stuttgart, where they beat Melikar and Peschke in the final. Well, Melikar and Brengel will take it. A couple of loose serves from Natal, and it's 2-2 in the game. And Philly wins this game. It hands its men's doubles pair a 4-game cushion to the final set. Check that, setting it to mixed doubles at the end, but the point remains you're giving your last set of teammates in this format a pretty comfortable cushion. It's that point. Townsend carving it in on the tough angle, and Philly does it again. Third straight set victory for Philly. Natal and Townsend looking ultra strong again for first place Philadelphia. Now the Freedoms lead the league, and they're playing like the league leaders, taking it to the Kastles 18-14 with mixed doubles to finish the session. That's coming up just around the corner here from DC.
Still a chance here. It's Willingham. Enter the box. Willingham shoots. Goal! That was magic. Willingham tucks it in and puts the championship to bed. Sweet dreams. Nice.
As long as soccer players celebrate with a slide, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Pressure. What pressure? The players on the...
A tennis league built on innovation, passion, and respect moves into the digital video age. For the first time, fans around the globe can stream every match from the World Team Tennis season on our new channel, WTT.tv, completely free. Watch major champions and rising stars come together to compete for the coveted King Trophy.
So many great points in this one.
This summer, watch the entire season at WTT.tv, presented by Geico.
Come on, guys, pop it back up.
We know our customers have busy lives. That's why we're working hard to improve our customer service. Now with the My Account app, you never have to guess when I'll be there. So instead of cutting your day short, you can stay out just a little bit longer. I'm Jaquetta from Comcast. We should fit into your life, not the other way around.
I play hard. I took it up a notch. Then I got hurt. I couldn't ignore the knee pain. I was told by other doctors I needed a knee replacement and would never run again. Until I went to Penn. Their musculoskeletal center put together a team of specialists. Using their unique whole-body approach and new procedure to repair cartilage, they made sure I kept my knee and my intensity. And my life, a life in motion, is worth Penn Medicine.
Nearly all profits from Bloomberg LP go to Bloomberg Philanthropies, which is dedicated to saving and improving lives around the world. So when you work for or with Bloomberg, you're doing a whole lot of good. Learn more about our good work at Bloomberg.org.
Final set for the Kastles and the Freedoms. Mixed doubles here. Robert Lindstedt, Nicole Melikar against Fabrice Martin, Taylor Townsend. Washington needs to win the set, try to have a chance to work back in extended play or super tiebreak. Philly needs just to win it to close the deal and lock up a playoff spot.
Clearly a lot of work for the Kastles, but you can't think about that. You just got to think about the next point. And obviously for Lindstedt, you got to start it off by holding your serve, and then you go from there. Very tall order. But you see why this Freedoms team is just so good. They work so well together. They're playing the big points very well.
And again, they have handled arguably one of the most interesting portions of the schedule for them this week. With all wins coming into this, they were home on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. They had a Thursday noon matinee. Then they hustled to Chicago, played the Kastles there last night. Both teams flying in to D.C. for this late afternoon start, and the potential for Philly to win all 5 of those.
Oh my goodness, talk about timing. Taylor Townsend taking a huge Lindstedt serve, and just watch this. I mean, this is a big first serve. It's hard, it's flat, and Townsend just times that return perfectly using Lindstedt's pace. She would love to bottle that one.
She has done so much for this unit throughout the year.
You know what? You use every part of the racket, Jason. Whether it's the throat, the top of the frame, you'll take it.
Melikar makes some magic. Game point here, Kastles. Melikar and Lindstedt strike first. A young fan excited about the potential of that Lindstedt serve. Little he or she was right. It was 123 miles an hour, and true. That's enough to scream for.
And I don't want my team to lose. Come on, come on. You can do it.
Begging for the comeback. Martin ready to begin here for Philly. This Philadelphia team, you mentioned how much Taylor Townsend has done for them on the court with her wins and success, but a lot of the players talked about how much as a team leader she has been, really galvanizing this group together.
And historically, World Team Tennis has just been something that you use as a springboard for the remainder of the year. You see so many players that play World Team Tennis, and then those next couple months out on tour play exceptionally well. Just have to believe we're going to see that from Townsend. She's now 61 in the world in singles. She has started to come into her own after a couple of years where there was so much expectation. She's doing it at her own speed, at her own pace, but has worked so hard on the Challenger ITF Tour events, getting a bunch of wins, 3 this year. Now you just feel that she's ready to make a move.
Three in singles and 3 in doubles. Lindstedt and Melikar creeping their way back into the game.
And if you're Melikar and you're Lindstedt, you're hoping for Martin to miss a couple of first serves and give you a shot at some second serves. He's so imposing at 6'6" out there.
One second serve on the way. Lindstedt wishing for that back.
Yeah, got the shot he wanted, but that ball stays low. On this surface, the ball stays low. You got to get down to that.
Okay.
Washington fighting to get to a 3-all point.
And what a return from Melikar there, keeping that backhand return low, kind of just bunted it, chipped it low, got the job done, and now it's up to Lindstedt. Can he get his racket on this return?
Washington's won 5 of the first 6 3-all points, but Philly still up in the overall match. And Townsend comes through with a beauty.
And you just can, the air just going out in this crowd, that would have been huge for Washington, but Taylor just has that wonderful sense of the court.
All right, this section 209. And they said they have the loudest section.
So Martin, a little tenuous at times, but does get the hold. Townsend delivering 1 game point. Melikar to serve at 1-all. Philly up 19-15.
And just shows you how big those 3-all points. It could have been just a 2-game gap all of a sudden, and then you're the Kastles and you're back in it.
This team's been close a bunch. Started out with 3 straight match wins, and since then, just winning 3 of their next 7. Still, they're in position to be in the playoff mix, trying for the what's presumed to be 1 spot among 4 teams, with Philly looking like a lock.
And Townsend again, just making everyone play 1 more ball.
Make some noise.
She has been just an MVP and then some.
And we mentioned her leadership abilities too with this group, keeping everybody fired up. Kayla Tal said she loves playing with her, that energy and excitement and drive. Big serve from Melikar, and game point here for the Kastles. You need that energy and drive, especially with this crazy schedule throughout this 3 weeks, the short sets. Big serve from Melikar again.
Huge from Melikar, and big point, and then now you give yourself a shot. Okay, we didn't break Martin, it was a 3-all point, but with the woman serving, maybe we got a shot at breaking Taylor Townsend.
It's interesting, this crazy travel week, and we mentioned last night in Chicago, Taylor Townsend been leading. This group's been having fun. They do a celebration dance after all their victories. Potential for another one of those coming tonight. But on the plane ride, we're told, come from Chicago, breaking out some cards. Taylor was teaching some of them how to play gin rummy. Fabrice Martin apparently didn't know what that was. That camaraderie, team bonding, which is so important in this quick firestorm of a season. And Philly seems to really have things rolling the right way. And a foot fault coming against Taylor Townsend. That's our first of those of the night.
And even if it wasn't a foot fault, the return from Melikar was so good.
Again, the replay official, second official, is watching the 6 football cameras and chiming in when that's necessary.
And the double fault. And I've got to give props to the ball girl in the back of the court because she just made the niftiest one-handed grab of a ball that I've seen. It was kind of rocketed at her and she just stuck her hand out. I think maybe a player.
Good reflexes all around here at the court at Kastles Stadium. The 4 on the court and those behind. 1-2 Townsend.
Now you get a look at another second serve. You had the foot fault the point before. You know Townsend's going to be thinking about that.
And now Washington able to lock in on a potential break.
Some of the best returning I've seen from Melakar.
One salvaged by Townsend.
Keep it up here, Kastles. Let's go, Kastles.
Well, you know the next 2 points, it's Townsend serving to Melakar. If we get to that 3-all. Oh my, that was clutch from Martin because Melakar hit a great return of serve.
Big work from the big man. 3-all point coming up. Geico timeout, Washington. Craig Card now getting his second stint coaching the Freedoms. This is the 3rd year in a row of his second opportunity to coach this franchise. Won some World Team Tennis titles, 4 of them in all. And he has the right recipe for this team, the way they have performed so far this season.
Well, no one more experienced as a coach than Craig Carden. He's coached some of the best. Great guy. Now let's see what Townsend's doing with this serve and where they've picked what spot for Melakar to return. And they picked going right at it up the middle and couldn't convert.
Boy, Taylor Townsend pressed not only in singles but now in mixed doubles and coming through big time. 2-2 in the set, 2016 Philadelphia trying to close it out here in DC.
Every minute, every second.
So you just walk around telling people Geico could help them save money on car insurance?
Yeah, that and homeowners, renters, motorcycle and boat insurance.
Huh. That's nice. What happens when you catch a fish?
Oh!
Geico. More than just car insurance. See how much you could save at geico.com.
I'm okay. In 1974, we founded a tennis league that was built on innovation, team spirit, and excitement. Now, 4 decades later, we're changing the game again and bringing World Team Tennis into the digital video age. This season, for the first time ever, you can stream every match from World Team Tennis on our new channel, WTT.tv, in high definition and completely free of charge. Check it out at WTT.tv.
Big hold from Taylor Townsend. She and partner Fabrice Martin trying to put the finishing moves on another impressive win for Philadelphia in World Team Tennis. Washington in its final home match of the season, looking to work its way all the way back in. Washington wins the set. They can send it to extended play. Chance to continue the comeback, try to even up the score against Philadelphia overall and get to a super tiebreak to decide the winner. But if Philly wins this final set, the night is over and the Freedoms win.
And it's a very tall order for the Kastles from this point in, especially when you've got the big serving of Fabrice Martin. When you get to extended play, he just needs to hold once. But if you can somehow run the table, close that overall score, the cumulative scoring, to a couple of games, you've got a shot. When you go into extended play down 3 or 4 games, it's very difficult.
Robert Lindstedt halted at one point for one of those serves and ended up with a double. See if he can get back in the groove.
Well, nice job from Martin there. Takes a little pace off that return and catches Lindstedt. You know, when you're playing men's doubles with your partner's moving more. When you're playing mixed doubles, a Melikar's not going to cross or move as much and help you as much when you serve. Got to do it yourself.
Philly celebrating as Lindstedt leaned in for it and couldn't deliver.
Shout it out, refuse to lose.
So now Philadelphia break chance and another nail in the potential comeback hopes here for the Kastles. Martin couldn't get the forehand. 3-all point time again.
And there are no secrets here. For Lindstedt, he's got to get that first serve in. If I'm the Freedoms, I would have taken a timeout just to cool him down. And he gets it done. Lindstedt, 2 big first serves.
Kastles staying in the thick of the fight here in mixed. 3-2 in the set. The deficit is 3. Fabrice Martin looking for another game hold. Washington looking for a dream break here and the chance to serve it out and get to extended play. Townsend airmailing the volley.
Fabrice Martin's last service game, they got it to 3-all. The Kastles started to get a hold of a couple of his serves.
Problem for the Kastles in this game. Fabrice Martin's first serve percentage is at 94%. He's won about 70% of the points on his first serve.
That does pose a problem. I mean, you've got someone willing to move at the net, a partner like Taylor Townsend's willing to help him out.
And now hooks in another beauty. And Philly up 2-1. This pair has been very good in mixed on the year, especially in 3-all points. They've won 75% of them as a pair most of the year. Melikar authoring a nice response.
She's doing a really nice job of getting some of these Martin serves back.
And Lindstedt helping finish the deal. 2-2 in the game. Geico timeout time.
And truthfully, he's French, so he's really Martin. But I like that Melikar, she's gone to the chip returns, used the pace that she's been getting from Martin, and just blocking some of those returns down. I mean, these two, Melikar and Lindstedt, have, as the season's gone on, and Melikar's gotten into the swing of things, they're starting to gel nicely as a team. That's why Murphy Jensen put them last. Thought if this match was close, he had confidence that they would hold their own in the mixed. Oh my goodness, she is just so good up there. That's just some magic from Taylor Townsend.
Every time Philadelphia needs a big point, it seems like Taylor Townsend somewhere in the mix. Again, playing in singles, women's doubles, and mixed as well, putting her fingerprints on a lot of key points.
And that's a wand up there.
That's long. Philly with the hold. Tied it at 3 in the set and keeps the margin at 4 overall. And that is big. Even if Washington wins the set, it's a little bit deeper hole to climb out of in extended play. Melikar on her serve. Washington just trying to find a way to keep hanging around here.
And that's why you like having Nicole Melikar as your mixed doubles partner, because her first serve, she serves big, and you get to do what you like to do at the net off of her big first serve.
You know, Nicole Melikar would like to find a way to help the Kastles come all the way back. That would make the 25th birthday celebration tomorrow a little bit sweeter. Happy early birthday to Nicole. Taylor Townsend maybe not offering gifts quite yet.
No, definitely not. And that return from Martin, very good. Timed it perfectly for Melikar. Wants to get this first serve in. It does just that.
Hold Kastles. Yeah, the Kastles, if they get the break, they win the set, get to extended play. If Philly wins the game, we go to a tie break. If Philly wins that, it's over. If the Kastles win the tie break, we go to extended play.
And this is where Taylor Townsend's been brilliant this season, handling these moments. And they're just picked that volley up. Lindstedt hit a very nice return, and Townsend just served and volleyed and picked that up like it was no problem.
Lindstedt passed it out, stretched Townsend for the point.
Well, it was the really nice return from Melakar, setting him up, forcing Townsend to volley up. And Townsend not giving Lindstedt a lot of pace on that serve. She's just kind of kicking it in. Oh, he's going to like more pace. And that was off his body. That was, you saw the ball go back, but that was a spectacular return from Melakar, and this is a huge point.
Saw the response too from Melakar, who pointed back across, saying that was off the body. Critical point here on the night.
Oh, that's just so good. I mean, here, when I said it's a huge point, you're the woman, you're serving to the guy. Lindstedt with is such a good returner. And Townsend, once again, just so cool as a cucumber, just coming in there, handling that volley. Can't say enough.
Another beauty of a service game for Taylor Townsend. She and Fabrice Martin send this final set of competition to a tiebreak. First to 5 wins it. If it's Philly, the night is done. If Washington gets to 5 first, we will go to extended play.
And you watch Taylor Townsend playing doubles, playing mixed, and you look at her and like she could definitely be a Grand Slam doubles champion if she focused only on doubles. But she's so gifted that she obviously singles takes a priority, but you can see how good she could be in doubles.
Up to 61, the latest WTA rankings, moving up 12 spots of late. Again, be real curious to see after the end of the World Team Tennis season how this breakout performance plays out for her the rest of 2018. Melakar and Lindstedt do what's needed, winning the first 2 on Lindstedt's serve.
And that's how you start. Then you get out to that good 2-love lead and you put some pressure on Fabrice Martin. You see you can make them play. I mean, these two, Martin and Townsend, work incredibly well together as a team, as do Lindstedt and Melakar. And there they went to the I formation, and we've seen Melakar hit some very nice returns against the Martin serve. And changes things up, goes from traditional to I. Townsend giving him the calls behind her back, the signals, where she's going to go.
Washington, clutch play. The mini break and the 3-1 lead.
And again, it's Melakar just handling the Martin serve. That was very impressive.
Changeover time here for the teams. It is rarely easy when visiting teams come in to this building to play the Washington Kastles. And that seems to be the way it may play out here for Philadelphia. And Murphy Jensen's team won the opening set of the night. Tennis Sandgren with one of the best performances for him in World Team Tennis this year over Kevin King. Then Taylor Townsend flipped the script, winning in women's singles against Naomi Osaka. And Philly kept it going, 5-3 in men's doubles, 5-2 in women's doubles. But here in mixed, Melikar and Lindstedt trying to give the Kastles the chance to keep playing in extended play.
Oops.
Well, the let serve was in. Philly able to finish the point.
And now for Melikar. You look to get that good first serve in. For Lindstedt to look to help her. Give yourself some set points. And gets a freebie off the serve. That's big for them.
Final three potential serves here of the tiebreak belong to Taylor Townsend. Will she be able to utilize all three? Washington a point away from getting to extended play. Now that's a breakthrough for Taylor Townsend. She had not won a point on her second serve so far in this set. Had been 0 for 4 and needed to come through with a biggie and did.
And it was her partner saying, I've got to help her out. And that's when you talk about how do you gel as a team. Martin knows it. She struggled on those second serves, meaning I've got to help her out. I've got to cross.
Townsend's been a rock on those first serve points, winning 89% of those when her first serve is in play. Craig Carden hoping for more of that from his mixed duo. Again, Washington needs 1 point to get to extended play. Philly needs 2 points to cap the night. And now it's a 1 point decider. Philly can finish. Washington needs it to stay alive.
And you think that Taylor Townsend here, she's going to spin that serve in just like she did the previous point and look across the net at Melikar and say, if you can hit a huge one, a winning return, hit a winner, you're too good. But I don't think you can do it. And she thought wrong.
Melikar goes cross court, reading it right. Washington wins the set to get us to extended play. But the hurdle will be fairly sizable. Washington down 3 games. They'll have to get some break magic here against the Freedoms. So Martin and Townsend will be right back at it again, Elise. The rules of World Team Tennis, if that last event's won by the trailing team, and in this case, Washington behind and winning, we get to extended play, and we'll keep playing if Washington keeps winning, and they can tie it up, then we get to a super tiebreak, but if Philly wins 1 game before then, it is over. Great chance that in this format where every point seems to matter, every game certainly matters, you're never really out of it if you can win at the end. Chair Rich Yarlott with some instructions for Murphy Jensen.
And it's happened before in mixed doubles. There have been major comebacks, and I'm going to tell you something, Jason. I hold the record on the wrong end of that for World Team Tennis. So can absolutely tell you it is never over Until you're shaking hands.
Extended play is here, hoping not to have a Elise Bergen moment. Fabrice Martin ready to serve. Big put away for the Freedoms. Their teammates, Coach Craig Carden, up off the bench. They know what this means. Chance to lock in as the top seed for the playoff.
And what an incredible point. And it's just indicative of why World Team Tennis is so fun, because you see it all the disciplines. Singles, doubles, and mixed. And this mixed has been fun. Quality tennis.
Another super serve from Martin. This pair may have lost in the tiebreak in the set, but focused right away for the job at hand, and that's holding here and finishing things off finally. Oh, it's in. Lindstedt, lovely.
And he's dialed in on these returns. First point of the game, hit a terrific return and dialed in there. And Lindstedt and Melikar are playing very well together. It's just, can they make that breakthrough? Can they get a break? Very difficult.
And now Philadelphia on the cusp. Match point here for the Freedoms.
Let's get behind Nikki and Robert. Shout it out. Refuse to lose.
Martin caps it with the ace, and Philadelphia continues to fly atop the World Team Tennis standings. 10-1 with their 7th straight win and their second in less than 24 hours against the second place Washington Kastles. Philly finishing things off. Back to wrap it up in a moment.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more, but by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots
and close shaves.
of wins for the history books.
And of losses I'll never forget. But watch me smile.
Say good game. And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness
is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
WTT.TV has been brought to you by Wilson. Get the best gear in the game. By DecoTurf, official tennis court surface of World Team Tennis and the official surface of the U.S. Open since 1978. By Forevermark. Less than 1% of the world's diamonds are worthy of the Forevermark inscription. Forevermark, a diamond is forever. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit Geico.com to see how much you could save. Graphics provided by New Blue FX. Powered by JVC Professional Video.
It has become a familiar sign around World Team Tennis this season, that Philadelphia Freedom victory dance. Been able to do it 10 times in 11 matches this year. Head coach Craig Carden leading the way as Philadelphia beats the Kastles again, locking themselves in to the World Team Tennis final, 10-1, atop the standings as they've been the majority of the season, winning their first 2 matches before dropping one and then reeling off a bundle in a row here to sit in the driver's seat atop the league. 23-19 the final here, extended play. Taylor Townsend, Fabrice Martin finally end things on the night. Philadelphia has gotten it done at home, on the road, and they are really cruising along here, Elise. It has been very impressive. Remember last year, the playoff spots, both of them were wide open to the final couple of matches, but right now Philly has sealed one, and there is going to be a big battle, but it's only for the other playoff spot.
Absolutely. Well, the Freedoms, they're in a league of their own at the moment. This team just gels together so beautifully. Everyone, all 4 players playing well at the same time, and that's why you see them way ahead at 10-1, but it's going to be very tight. The Kastles now have to go on the road. They've got to pull off some wins on the road. They've got the Lasers, the Breakers, and the Aviators coming up on the road. It's going to be tough. San Diego back at home. It's anyone's guess who's going to be that second team. That's what makes it so exciting. It's going to come down to these last couple of matches to see who's going to play against Philadelphia in that final.
Don't sleep on Orange County. 4 matches for them to round things out to end the season. We'll see how it plays out. Again, you mentioned Washington back on the road. They will be at Springfield on Monday night. Philadelphia is there Tuesday night, but for Martin and the rest of the Philadelphia players, they get a couple of days off after winning for the 5th straight night, 5 in a row. And again, 7 in a row overall, 10-1 and in first place in World Team Tennis. That's going to do it for us, for Elise Bergen and our crew. This is Jason Knapp saying so long as the Freedoms lock themselves into the playoffs with a big win here at Castle Stadium.
Still nervous about finding a new apartment?
Yeah, but popping these things really helps me relax. Please don't. I'm saving those for later.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about renter's insurance. Just go to Geico.com.
Geico helps with renter's insurance. It's good to know.
Been doing it for years.
That's really good to know. I'll check them out.
Get to know Geico and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.